10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, good golly, Miss Molly. I believe one of these streams is now working.
It is.
Yeah, YouTube's up.
YouTube's up and running.
Thank you for your patience, everybody. And we've lost Salty's in now. Okay.
Yeah.
So
There he is.
After hours of painstaking prep, the streams set for YouTube, Rumble, and Odyssey. The Rumble and Odyssey streams kicked off great. The YouTube stream wouldn't start, no matter what we did. And the only way to solve it was to come out completely and set up a brand new one, which would kick off the YouTube side on a second stream. So my deepest apologies. This is yet another problem that I've had with Talk Studio. Multiple problems with them, multiple unsuccessful attempts with their support to fix this. So this will be the last show ever on Talk Studio. The most simple of things, the YouTube stream to start and it didn't start. So
yeah,
my deepest apologies.
No one will ever forgive you, Brian.
No one will ever forgive me, and they should.
Yeah, they will.
We had a lovely crowd. We had a lovely crowd. You were all waiting. My pants are on. I've got jeans on today, which is very unusual. So good afternoon, Davina and David and Andy and Kronos and D-Bud and Christian and everybody who stuck with that and then has ended Parrothead, FKHC 2005.
All right,
who've all stuck it out and ended up on the correct YouTube stream. I gotta let Pope in, and I gotta give Pope the Pope Metallicus the thing. So forgive me while I'm stumble. Talk amongst yourselves while I get Pope back in, because he's not on the YouTube the Twitter DMs. So
yeah, is there something special you guys are looking forward to?
I can send it to him in Gilded.
I'm doing that right now, mate.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Control. There you go. You should get back in now. Well, that was fun. Firefighting. So positive vibes. This is what happens when you try and have a positive show. If I'd set the show up and said we're going to shit talk about the Marvels all day, it would have just gone like this.
Smooth as water off a duck's behind, no doubt, man. Should have been.
Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to get the I'm going to have to skip the Odysseys and Rumbles because it just I think it's beyond me at this point.
It takes a minute to set up Rumble, man. You've got to do all kinds of shit to set that up.
Yeah,
they really need to work. I mean, we're not going to get into a production meeting on streaming right now, but Rumble really needs to make their interface a little bit more user-friendly.
Permanent stream key would be handy.
Yeah, that would be.
If they did that one thing, I would stream on Rumble exclusively. I would no longer be on YouTube.
I do every one of my shows on it, and I have to. It takes a good 10 minutes to set it up because I want the description just like it is on YouTube and all that stuff, and I have to copy and paste everything.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. And see, this was all a con so that we could delay for Courtney. We were just killing time until Courtney got here.
That's it. We're just waiting for Courtney to get here with the music, right? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So I'd like to welcome my very patient and supportive panel today for helping me with this. Greetings, John. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. Glad to see you here, my friend. I'm certainly looking forward to your views on things like Godzilla -1. Because you're the expert in the room, I think. So that would be awesome, because it looks awesome, but we're going to talk about that for sure. Dustin, my friend, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm glad to be here, And these technical difficulties, they just add character to the stream.
Yeah, but they add character to the stream and take yet another life off of me. Let another
take another year off of you, right?
Off the bottom.
Stress.
Right, Hail toxic man flu, by the way. Joe, how are you, my friend?
Doing fantastic. Got not enough hours in the day in a good way. Had a show this weekend. Got a bunch of commissions off it. Now I'm hip deep in work. Yeah. But I said I'm going to take 2 hours off to talk about cool stuff that I've been talking about for a few months.
I know. This is good because you're prepped because you've been talking about it all already. So thank you for being here.
The only thing on your thumbnail we haven't discussed is Reacher 2, and that's new news in the last I'd say 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, and we're going to get to that. And we have a very special guest though. Salty, traveling, or sailish sea as you are today. How are you, my friend?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, this is wonderful. I hate your streaming software.
So do I.
You sound like culture.
Hi, no, I'm here and I'm in the back end producing. So, so our man Brian can sit there and be beautiful and show off his cleavage and his great bottom and talk all about this great stuff. So,
absolutely.
Thanks for having me on.
It's great to have you, buddy. And there's a lot of stuff we're talking about today. I'm sure that you're very interested in too, as we share very similar tastes, which is good.
Oh, yeah.
We share tastes, but not bodily fluids, thankfully. So
no.
Right.
And our other guest at the moment, Courtney, will be joining us, is Pope Metallicus. How are you, my friend?
Doing good, man. Happy to be on here and talking about kind of a variety of cool stuff coming out because you'll get like one part of it from my channel or this one or somebody else's, but it's cool to kind of bring it all together and dump it in everybody's lap of like, this is all the cool shit we get.
All the commentators hanging out. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, that when you look closely, it's not all doom and gloom. There's a ton of great entertainment coming out. So we are going to definitely be dealing with that today. But thank you, our great friend Christian from Christian Dillom's Vinyl Revival. Please check his channel out. $5 Canadian super chat from Christian. Here's some whiskey flowing money. Whiskey is a natural, healthy, and wholesome painkiller.
Facts.
Unless you drink a whole bottle and then you suffer a lot of pain in the morning.
Yeah, you do.
But for you, Christian, you're going to get my latest favorite clip. And we will be talking about Priest later.
That is going to get stuck in my head, and I'm going to blame you for it.
That's right. I should play the whole video at some point because Bill McClintock, I don't think he minds, but as long as he gets promoted. D. Bud Martin, who's a wonderful wrench every week. D. Bud's good to see you, my friend. He's talking about haggis. And Dustin, I think this is something you may appreciate as a keto man.
Get your haggis right here. Chopped heart and lungs, boiled in a wee sheep's stomach. Tastes as good as it sounds. Good for what ails you.
So,
dude, fried up in butter, and I'm in, man. I'm in.
Fried up in butter. Oh man,
it's as good
the
as
only
it
thing that
sounds.
Scottish people don't fry.
Right.
You got to fry. Well, you don't. See, for haggis isn't fried. You can deep fry haggis, though. That's true. It's not meant to be fried, but you can deep fry it in batter. We do everything in batter. So you can have blood sausage, white pudding, all these other things in batter, and it doesn't really matter what's inside because it's 100% oil.
Hey, has Scotland ever discovered garlic yet?
Oh God, yeah. Oh yes. That's what you use to cover the taste of the lungs and the heart and the.
I'm in. That's the healthiest stuff you can eat.
Oh yeah.
Just wait until they get salt and pepper mastered.
Full of protein. In fact, now if we're going to go the whole Scottish route, and today, apart from talking about stuff we're looking forward to, I do have some amusing things to share, some little videos. So I'm going to start by doing that, and if I can find the there it is. So this is a wee clip from a Scottish comedy show called Chewing the Fat. The very, very famous Scottish show. I'm going to see if you find this amusing, if it ever, there is. If I can ever get it to go on the bloody screen.
There you are. That's a 99. And a bottle of iron brew. Does your wee pal want?
What a scratch your fanny.
A swatch your fanny.
Okay, what did they say?
What's a swatch your fanny?
Oh man,
They're still there hours later.
right?
That's from the great Chewing the Fat, wonderful comedy show. They did this great. You'll see it on YouTube. Taysiders in Space, Star Trek spoof. It's hilarious. YouTube didn't like me showing that clip, but again today I don't really care anymore.
Right.
So we got another super chat, $5 from Parrothead. If the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy.
Red Green Show. Absolutely. I was watching that the other night. And there are some things that are timeless. If you have not watched that, please, you can find that actually free on Tubi, I believe. Right now they have all the seasons, and it's a wonderful show. Like genuinely funny things.
Because that's Canadian.
Oh, good God.
Hey, over here for donuts.
Don't listen to him, eh? He's a hoser.
He's a hoser.
But he deserves a video clip too. God knows what I'm going to play. This one.
To be or not to be? Not to be.
So thanks for that, Parrothead. So yes, there will be amusing things as well as shows, and I'm going to try and play a lot of trailers. We'll be absolutely screwed by YouTube, but as long as they don't shut the stream down, we're okay. So let's get started on that with something I got exceptionally excited about when I saw it. And no, I'm not talking about Salma Hayek nude.
True story.
You could be forgiven for that, though.
Which could be forgiven. So James Clavell's Shogun.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
One of my favorite novels of all time.
Mm-hmm.
This copy I've had since 1970s.
Mm-hmm.
It's 80 pence it cost me used. It wasn't even new. And this has got to be one of my 2 or 3 favorite books of all time. Maybe even my favorite book. My favorite book. Book. Shogun, James Clavell. I mean, look at that. I mean,
fortunately, it's a quick read.
Yeah.
Never mind the quality.
Like
feel the
like
width. Feel the width of that book.
Yeah, it's the girth, ladies. It's the girth.
So, have you guys all read the novel?
I have not read the book. I saw the miniseries. I did not read the book.
So you've not, John, you have?
Yep.
Dustin hasn't. So
I'll get it on Audible and listen to it in the car while I'm doing
saw the
stuff.
miniseries like everybody else in the
Pope's
80s.
read the book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's an incredible. Clavell was a great writer. Incredible novel. I read this once a year. I'm not kidding. At some certain point in the year, I'll go, yeah, it's time to read Shogun again.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. He usually put all his dramas in some cultural event kind of background, right?
He set a lot of them in the Far East, and they were, although he didn't write them in chronological order, they ended up being connected. So you would get Noble House.
Didn't he do Alaska too? Didn't he do that one?
No, that was Michener.
Yeah. Oh, is that James Michener?
So things like Clavell did things like Noble House, which was set in Hong Kong in the 60s.
Yep.
Taipan, King Rat, which was set in a Japanese prisoner of war.
I remember
camp.
that one. Yeah.
So, and he wrote one of the Bond movies. I think it was this, You Only Live Twice. I can't remember which one it was. Somebody will tell me.
It wasn't one of the great ones, but it was still a Bond movie.
But great writer.
I like that movie. I happen to like You Only Live Twice. I love the theme song, and I love all that movie. It's not the best one though out of the Connery run. That is for sure.
Yeah. And
that would be Goldfinger.
Was it
Thunderball for me? But
Thunderball for me too. Tell him, Pope. What's up?
Thunderballs, indeed.
Tom Jones, throw your panties on the stage. What's up? Yeah,
Russia with love from Russia.
All right, I can respect that.
See, we could talk about Bond all day, and we will.
Yeah, we could. And there's not a truly bad Sean Connery one.
We
I mean,
go down that route.
Yes, the worst one would probably be Diamonds Are Forever, maybe.
Never Say Never Again.
Yeah, but do you even consider that one?
If we go down the Bond route, this show will go on all day.
It will go on all day. I'll get out my poster book. I will. Yeah.
Thunderballs.
That's it.
Christian, thank you, my friend, for another $2 super chat. This book was written to deal with PTSD from World War II. Yes, because World War II was a big, I don't know what Clavel did, but he was in it. And hence King Rat. I mean, he might have been probably was in a prisoner of war camp because he wrote in such detail about that story. Great book, and even they did make a movie out of it. The book is brilliant. So we're gonna play you something for that. We'll go back to the old standard. Thank you for that, Christian. And so we mentioned the 1980 miniseries, which I have on DVD, I've had for many years, with Richard Chamberlain,
the father of the miniseries, right?
And a lot of people dissed it, particularly the casting of Chamberlain. I really enjoy this miniseries.
Great as Blackthorn. I don't know why people.
He was in all those miniseries. I mean, he was
Thornbirds.
the guy.
And who wrote the Thornbirds? Somebody was asking. I don't know.
God.
But anyway, look at the packaging. The packaging is just phenomenal. It's just beautiful, I mean, with the samurai sword interior, and so
I like too the way they did it, where it wasn't done in English; it was dubbed over in English, but you could audibly hear them speaking Japanese.
Yeah,
the Australian author Colleen McAuliffe wrote.
Because that was Richard Chamberlain as well. Yeah. General Hospital, wasn't that what he was in, or some hospital thing? But a lot of people didn't like that casting so much. I didn't dislike it. He did somewhat resemble Blackthorn from the books. So let's
little known fact: he was the first guy to play Jason Bourne, and it was on television.
That's true. Yeah. Yep. He's still around, I think. Chamberlain, isn't he? Still alive? But,
I don't know.
No, I think he is. Isn't he? All right. Who knows? So we're going to play the trailer. YouTube copywriting be damned. We're going to play the trailer for the new show, and then we'll talk about what we think about it. So here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hell, I've even got the trailer for the old one.
Right. I am mistaken. He is still alive. I thought he died 2 years ago.
So Richard, I'm sorry, we just killed you off.
Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Look out.
So let's have a look at the new FX, Hulu, and God forgive us, it's Hulu and Disney Plus.
Oh no.
Who seem to make great Asian-oriented stuff. It's just the Western stuff that's so good. Let's have a look at this.
Do not be fooled by our politeness. Our bows are made of rituals.
Already
Death is
getting
in our
the
air. And sea and earth. Just remember. We live and we die.
heavyweight casting, of course, for
We control
Toranaga.
nothing beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a saying out here, every man has three hearts. One in his mouth.
FX and Hulu have been doing some good stuff.
I like the fact they've introduced the three hearts thing, the public, private, and secret to yourself.
Buried deep. Where no one can find it.
It looks good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Looks like an actual movie. Looks like an actual movie.
Yeah.
Everything they're showing here too is from right about this period, right about 1600. So whoever their historical guy is, kudos to you, dude.
Yeah, they've really, I would say they've really nailed it from the trailer.
Yeah, anybody that's seen The Old Man knows what I'm talking about. FX and Hulu has been doing some good stuff. They have.
can have value and
and they've given it a kind of modern, more Game of Thrones feel, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Just hopefully it's not as dark as Game of Thrones was, where you could barely see it sometimes.
Well, that's right. Now, some of these scenes are right out of the book.
It is you who is imprisoned. Freedom is all you ever live for.
Somebody understands gradient too. Gradient in the outdoor scenes. You know.
Yeah,
here's a
cinematography just looks amazing.
So here's a question: as someone who has not read the book, I just got it on Audible. So if I were to, I'm going to listen to the book. Should I watch the series or listen to the book first?
I would listen to the book first.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, the guy. Even though I didn't read it, Keto, the guy is famous. Clavel is a great writer.
Listen to it, yeah.
And I can't recommend the 1980s miniseries hardly enough. And you can find it for free on the interwebs.
Yeah, it was.
On a couple of places.
It was a big television event when it came out. Of course, you got to remember back then there was no cable. It was, I think, HBO had just gotten started.
Not a lot of people had HBO.
Yeah, and not a people did. Yeah,
I'm actually going to show that too. I've got the original. It's just a short one, trailer for the original series.
This is Shogun, the staggering saga of feudal Japan. The story of ruling warlords battling for ultimate supremacy. They are challenged by a stranger from across the seas, John Blackthorne, the one man with the power to change Japan's destiny for all time. This is the opening chapter of the 6-part presentation starring Richard Chamberlain and Toshiro Mifune, the epic tale of power and passion, beauty and tragedy. That is Shogun.
Toshiro Mifune, the greatest Japanese actor of all time.
Yes,
correct.
No doubt.
So yeah, good point, John. I mean, heavyweight casting for Toranaga there, and they've got heavyweight casting for Toranaga now.
About the only major Japanese actor that wasn't in Shogun was Sho Kosugi.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. But Hiroyuki Sanada is Toranaga now, probably the most recognizable Japanese actor in the world. Ken Watanabe, maybe, you know. So, and obviously hot from all sorts of things like John Wick. So both great castings. I have to say neither of them looks like Toranaga in the book though, but who cares?
Yeah,
they're heavyweights, and that's what matters. You're going to get some good character out of it.
And I'm pretty sure the guys from the 1980 series said the same thing of, oh, but he doesn't really look like Toranaga. Who gives a shit? Toshiro Mifune just said yes to this.
Exactly. This is the kind of change that we don't really care about as much, I don't think, because Toranaga in the book is short, bald, and pot-bellied. Yeah. So essentially, it looks promising. I'm cautiously optimistic. Now, I'm a little bit concerned, perhaps, about Mariko, the character Mariko, who. I don't want to give. A lot of people haven't seen or know anything about Shogun, so I don't want to give too much away. She becomes very close to Blackthorne, and she's played by Anna Sawai, who's currently in Monarch: Legacy of Monsters.
Yep.
She looks like, now she is samurai, because women were samurai too, but it didn't mean they were ninjas out there killing people. They just were of the samurai class. They all carried a knife and could defend themselves. I had a little feeling there they were making it look like she was some kind of an assassin at one point, which isn't quite the way it went. Now, she was super brave.
But there are a couple scenes in the book where she throws down, too, and actually does take out a couple of assassins.
Yeah, and they did, true, that's not her principal role, but she is a weapon for Toranaga because she's bold and loyal. Like the scene where she's surrounded by the pikemen, that's when she's trying to get out of the regent's castle where they're being held prisoner. Toranaga's people are being held prisoner, and they're not. Oh well, we're keeping you here for your safety, kind of thing. She said, "Well, I'm free to leave then if it's voluntary," and she's trying to get out. It's a great sequence in the book. So,
and the whole book is a great window into Japanese culture of the late Sengoku and early Edo period.
Yeah,
tied into one piece. And I love how they did it, and that they didn't try to throw you into a Japanese character, because James Clavell doesn't understand that character. He put himself in the narrator and main character is an Englishman who is washed up in this culture and understands none of it.
And the culture clash could not be more different. I mean, they could not be two more different cultures.
And they make that apparent from like one of the first scenes that they see in Japan. I won't spoil it because it's a fucking amazing scene, but it's just like
Blackthorn's,
we're not at home anymore.
Blackthorn's life is in danger for most of the book.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's living under constant threat. He doesn't even know about half the time.
Yeah.
But so for those who don't know about it, just briefly, it's 17th century Japan. It's a ship of mainly Dutch traders, but Blackthorn is an English pilot, not the captain, but the pilot, navigator. And they get shipwrecked in 17th century Japan, and they're very closed. It's a very closed society. They got a few Jesuit priests, and that's it. And a little area the Jesuits hang out into trade. And they don't like Blackthorn and the Dutch being there because the Catholic Protestant wars were raging. So it's threat everywhere. And Blackthorn and his remaining crew are just stunned by the cultural difference. And they're used to being like these conquerors of the world. And they're not in Japan, they're not.
Well, and also you have this guy who grew up in early Enlightenment era England. Like, one of the most, one of the forefronts of the Enlightenment, getting cast into feudal Japan right at the height of their civil war.
And it is a civil war, and Toranaga is one of the feuding warlords, all attempting to become shogun, which is supreme military ruler. Yes, the emperor exists, but he's a puppet for all of them.
Clavel chose the name of, totally not the Tokugawa clan.
So brilliantly done. It looks, I don't know. What do you think, guys? I think it looks great.
It looks great. Like I said, I saw the original miniseries, and the production value of it. But like I said, FX has been doing this with quite a few of their shows. They're putting a lot of money into the production value. So, if they stick to the novel, it looks like it's going to be great stuff. No doubt.
Fair play to them. Yeah. I don't know about the Blackthorn guy. I mean, I've not really seen this Cosmo Jarvis in anything else that I can think of.
No.
He's kind of English. I think he's got an American parent, but he was just brought up in England. He's a musician. No, I have no idea about him. I don't even know what he was in before. So that I'm a bit on the fence about him until I see him.
Well, we need some fresh blood. We've been saying it forever, right?
Yeah. Well, we do, and just when a couple of stills we've got here, we'll just put them up in the stream. So I do love that image.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful image. I don't know who's doing the artwork, but they really nailed that, in my opinion. The novel, obviously, which I would urge everyone to read. One of the greatest novels ever written, and I'm not using
certainly
hyperbole.
One of classics of the 20th century.
No doubt. Yeah.
That people will still be studying hundreds of years from now.
Check out the original series at some point because it was well made. It was good. So this is Cosmo Jarvis. There is a scene. This is actually in the book.
Yep.
That scene. I felt that Blackthorn's meant to be tall, blonde, and blue-eyed. This guy's a little bit stockier and thin. It's kind of but hey, is he a good actor? I don't know.
I mean, like there's some artistic license to be taken there. Like, they mentioned repeatedly in the books that Blackthorn was big even for an Englishman.
Yeah.
So he would have looked like a giant compared to the Japanese.
That's right, yeah.
And they mentioned that of like, holy shit, this is the biggest guy I've ever seen.
Indeed. So Davina's throwing up a lot of facts about later events, because obviously Clavel set this in the 17th century. I think it's during the reign of Queen Elizabeth.
I believe it's 1600 exactly.
Yeah, so it's a little bit earlier than the forced opening up of Japan. Really interesting history, though, that Davina's throwing up. It's
a fascinating period. Yeah. Especially because Japan was in the middle of a civil war, too. Partially over Christianity.
Well, indeed, because some of the warlords were converting.
Yep, and that scared the living shit out of the people in power, so they wanted them gone.
So Anna Sawai as Toda Mariko. Three main characters, Toranaga, Blackthorn, and Mariko. Brilliantly constructed, all three of them. And I'm hoping they don't change a lot about the story, because the story doesn't necessarily, again, spoilers, it's not necessarily a happy ending.
No.
So,
No.
I'd say it's pretty far from a happy ending, but it's a satisfying ending.
It's a satisfying ending. Obviously, there's Toshiro Mifune, and
there
back
is
in the
a
day.
solid conclusion to all of the plots.
Yeah, so you get the two guys who've taken on the role, kind of similar, really. I mean, they're even for. And I don't mean that in a all Japanese people look the same. That's nonsense.
No.
I mean, they've picked two guys that are of similar look and stature to play it.
100%. I noticed that from the trailer from the 80s. I was like, how did they do that? I mean, it's pretty remarkable.
And then back in the day, it was Yoko, not Yoko Ono.
No.
Careful now.
Look out now.
Yoko Shimada played Mariko, and now it's Anna Sawai. So, you know, not bad. She looks the part. Another alternative piece of artwork for it.
Oh, I like that.
I like that artwork.
Cool.
I love the lighting in that too.
So, and just one shot I've got from some of the battle scenes, and there are some epic battle scenes to be done in this. So
the Japanese battles from this period are like fodder for modern cinematography, where you have all of these cool lighting effects, and you have these banners fluttering in the breeze off of everybody's back, and all of that cool thing. It's like, so like if they do a proper battle scene, it could look amazing.
Oh, it should. I'm really hoping they'll do that stuff justice and not make it look like cheap CGI, whatever. It's got to
I'll tell you,
good.
One of the best ones I've ever seen. You guys are probably going to laugh at me. A movie called Last of the Mohicans by Michael Mann.
Oh, God, I love that.
When they come out of the woods and that fortress they're trying to go to is being attacked. That is one of the best scenes I've ever seen in a movie. It's awesome.
I lived in Nashville when they were shooting that, and I know exactly where they shot that. My brother was around that production. It is one of the most beautiful movies out there, especially that captures the nature of Appalachia.
Yep.
Which is a lot like Kentucky in some ways, but Kentucky is different, very different though.
Mm-hmm.
So, just speaking about that, Last of the Mohicans, the scene where he says, "I will find you,"
underneath the waterfall. Yeah,
there wasn't a dry seat in the house for the women in the
No,
cinema.
Oh, absolutely.
you know.
No, that soundtrack is utterly fantastic.
Oh, it is, man.
Yeah.
One of my favorite wrestlers even uses that played on an electric guitar, like a metal version of it, to enter the ring.
Yeah.
It's pretty damn cool. Yeah. Yep.
So I think we're all pretty excited for this one. It's coming out in February with 10 episodes. February on Hulu, I think in North America, Disney Plus and FX. Again, Disney Plus, and we give them shit rightly for some stuff, but in Asia they seem to still do good content for in the Asian. Now, although to be fair, this was filmed largely in Vancouver in BC. So it wasn't filmed necessarily in Japan, but I think it just looks great. I'm so excited, and I want to see more. The chat, I think,
I hope they got at least some filming done in actual Japan, because I would love to see some of those castles with Mount Fuji behind it.
I suspect there's a bit of that, but a lot of I know they constructed some of the ships in BC on the coast and filmed that stuff there. Those scenes on the beach are all in BC, so. You can tell it's in British Columbia or Vancouver. You can tell it's in Vancouver because it's raining.
True story. Out my window, I can see Victoria Island.
So I think the chat seemed to be excited for that one too. I hope so. Definitely top of my list for things that are coming up. Now, I don't have anything prepped for it, but what is Monarch Legacy of Monsters like, John?
Oh, I love it. It's got a storyline that is inspired by the movies, has calls to the movie, but doesn't rely on the movies.
Which is as it should be. In other words, you don't have to watch this to enjoy the movie, or you don't have to have seen the movies to enjoy this, right?
Right.
It's its own thing. Yeah. That's hey, Disney Plus, you listening? That's how you do things, man.
Yep.
Jeez. Quit making people do homework.
They're introducing some new kaiju to the world, to the lore. It's filling in some holes that were in some of the stories. Like, for example, Kong, Skull Island. What happened to John Goodman's character? Some of his experience when he was separated from the group. But yeah, and they actually got John Goodman back to play. They had this whole thing with John Goodman that they did this whole thing.
Really?
That's nice. Yep. Yeah.
Kurt Russell's in it, right?
Yeah, Kurt Russell and his son are playing the same character like 50 years apart. And it's really cool.
Right. So you'd recommend it?
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
I'm going to watch it then. I'm going to watch it.
If you like any movies, the kaiju stuff, yes, watch it.
Right. So that's Monarch Legacy of Monsters. I think it's Apple Plus, Apple TV Plus. Right.
Yeah, and if it's like everything else on Apple Plus, the production value is going to be through the roof.
Yeah.
If they do one thing right, it's production value on their stuff. It's really good.
We're going to talk about Godzilla shortly. I want to leave that for a little bit later because I wanted to get this one out of the way. So Reacher season 2.
I'm gonna jump. I've got the IRL. I tried to let you know on private chat, but thanks for having me on.
Mate, but thanks.
No, it's okay. Yeah, no worries. If anybody wants to take over producing, go ahead. But this has been fun. Everybody, please subscribe to That 70s Rock Fan and everybody else on this panel. Thanks for having me on.
It's great to see you, Salty.
Always good.
Likewise,
subscribe to Salty. What's coming up for you though? Anything quick you want to plug or?
Nah. See everybody around. Bye.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for being here. So Reacher season 2. Did we all watch season 1?
Hell yeah, we did. I'm a military policeman. That's my hero. Of course, I've seen that show.
I watched it twice.
He's one of my guys. Yeah.
It surprised the shit out of me for many reasons. One, because they faithfully picked a guy who looked like Reacher's supposed to look like.
Because I know the fans of the books were pissed off at Tom Cruise.
And I've read a few of them. I haven't read them. My wife is a big fan.
I've read like 14 of the books.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've read like 4, I think.
Yeah, I've read 3 or 4. I can't remember exactly how many. And so that was great. But also, in this day and age, it had a particular hero of a particular look, which he wasn't swapped for anything else. And they didn't make him gay or didn't.
No.
To get too into that, but it was done faithfully, kind of like the Terminal List was too. It was a faithful adaptation, and it didn't pander to any of that stuff. So I'm excited for season 2. Let's take a look at the trailer.
Do you guys know the book it's based on? Because apparently they're doing one book per season, I think.
It's based on the 11th novel, Bad Luck and Trouble.
Okay.
It's the 11th because they're jumping about. And it's got Reacher investigating the murders of his old military police squad, which is, I think I did read this book.
Ooh.
And I read one that was set back in the day when he was in the military police. So they're not following them chronologically, but they are doing each one on a book. So let's take a wee look. Let's take a wee look. Look at the book.
Here's my man. Reacher does not play neither.
You've been carjacked, right? Don't turn around. This won't take long.
Boom.
Damn.
I don't know. I love that kind of stuff.
Just love it.
Prefers not getting involved.
That's how you don't get involved.
Refer to these special investigators as your team, your soldiers, even your friends.
You do not mess with the special investigators.
Yeah, I read the book with
Now they're
that
all in
team.
trouble.
Oh, good song.
Yep.
Excellent.
Crazy for you.
Oh.
I better quieten it though in case I get
from the helicopter.
blocked.
And they're coming after us.
Good. I was so shocked to see Thad from Blue Mountain State in a serious role.
Yeah.
Well, I just like the fact that they didn't pull any punches with the combat or the
concrete block.
Yeah, right. Oof. I like the fact that they made it realistic. I thought that was pretty cool.
We put bad guys in jail. What does he think he's gonna do?
Just look at the way he walks.
Right?
It's like the good old days.
Yeah.
Guy's a behemoth.
He's only 6'1", but they do a good job of making him look 6'5".
No, but he's 6'1" wide.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is that wide or tall?
So he's a little shorter than actual Reacher would be in real life, but they did a good job with angles.
Mm-hmm.
And he's flipping jacked.
Yeah, he is. Did I see Robert Patrick there?
You did. You did.
Kick ass. That guy, he could live in friggin' Comic-Cons forever, couldn't he?
You just bought.
Oh yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah. So
we just saw him on his episode of The Walking Dead the other night because we're rewatching
yeah,
that.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So right away, I think absolutely as good as the first season.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, as long as they keep doing what they're doing, which is being faithful to the material, and that's what I heard from everybody that read the books. That first season was really good on that end of it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. But I like the Tom Cruise movies too. I thought they were pretty good.
I like the first Tom Cruise movie. Yeah. That was based on the 9th book.
Yeah,
I had no problem with them. I mean, my wife hated them because she read all the books.
She's read the books and
she
knew a dwarf was playing him, right?
Yeah. So she hated them. I liked the one. I liked them, and the Pittsburgh one because I'd been to Pittsburgh a few times. We've been along that piece of riverfront.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was shooting at us though. So Christian Delorme, thanks, buddy. Another $2 Canadian super chat. Thank you, my friend. I love how somebody keeps taking it off. I love how toxicity is slowly. That's okay, John. I love how toxicity is slowly coming back. No soy.
That's right. That's right, man.
No soy in this.
The pendulum is definitely swinging, folks. It is definitely swinging.
Yeah, no soy in this and no soy in the terminal list. So Amazon Prime, again, like Netflix and Apple and Disney, for all their faults, there is some. They know when they're onto a good thing too.
Yes.
And they're Jack
I
Ryan
haven't
series
finished the
actually
terminal
as
list
well,
the first season.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very good and it's faithful to the book. That's what I like.
But I've listened to all the books the newest one I haven't got a chance to listen to yet, but I'm like 4 or 5 books deep. So
yeah. So for Christian, I'm going to play a little bit of a clip. I think this.
It's still a stupid. It's such a fine line between stupid and clever. Yeah, it's just a little turnabout.
Love those guys.
That's where I live, in that fine line.
Yeah,
fine
we
line.
walk
I
that
live
line very, very carefully.
I think I've
and
crossed
fall
it
off
really.
a lot.
So D-Bud says Tom Cruise isn't a dwarf; he's a leprechaun. Yeah,
He is a lucky dude, man. I'm telling you.
I have no problem with Tom Cruise. And
Look, he's a flake in real life, but there's no debating the fact that guy knows how to make a movie. Something that when he gets passionate about something, he puts his balls into it, and it comes out looking like something he's passionate about. It comes out great.
He works hard at what he does, and he believes in entertainment.
Yeah, I mean,
so
look at Katie Holmes. She turned out great later in life.
So a little bit of a word from, if I've got the volume up, there's a little bit of something from Alan Richardson. I did try to. There was another one of these where he had the slate for the show, and then it got bigger and bigger, and he eventually ended up with this enormous slate. But this is a
last scene is done. As you can see, things got a little crazy. We promised things would be back bigger and better than ever, and we did not lie.
So there it is.
And we do it Reacher style. Here it is to close out the season. It's officially done. Season 2, back bigger and better than ever. We promised we would, and proof is in the pudding. Real tiny next to this thing. You looks tiny next to that thing. Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Neat.
Look, it just came up.
Looked like they were having fun.
Maniacs.
And Richardson seems to be getting a lot of input to what's going on, So
he seems completely committed to that series and that character. Like he just went for it. You could tell he was actually trying his best on season 1.
And I think the fact that I think he's the right guy because he's committed. He seems to love the material. The author clearly likes him, so and that's going to be in. That's not so far away. Amazon Prime Video December 15th, but they're doing it in I think 3 episodes and then one every week or something.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to kind of spin it a little bit, but it's only 8 episodes, so that won't take long.
Last time they put it out, I think that they just did one a week. I think.
What I also like about it is I think we all like revenge stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah, no doubt.
I just like the fact. I just like when people like who, mess around and find out. That's what you know what I mean.
F around and find out, baby. That's it.
Right. That's one of those like you messed with that guy.
Yeah.
This is about. You are about to find out what happens.
Yeah, I love this. Reacher's back. I mean, that's quite funny.
And he's got a bunch of dog tags in his hand, and that's not good. That's not good at all.
No, someone's taking his team out, and he
oh
wants revenge.
man,
That
no,
probably
no, no,
means
no,
someone's
no.
about to eat those.
Right?
Great. And they are making a Terminal List 2 as well, by the way, which is good. But, although it won't feature Taylor Kitsch, and I really like Taylor Kitsch. Well, at least I don't think it will, unless it's a prequel. I don't know much about the rest of the casting, but the trailer looks great.
Every time you say his name, all I can see is John Carter, dude.
Yeah.
One
And
of the most underrated movies of all time.
Love it. I got the Blu-ray right there.
It's like what they did with the Gray Man series. Is the Gray Man book series is amazing, but the movie was just awful.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It was.
It looked like they pulled this man. He looks like they pulled this man out of a freaking bronze statue or something.
For some reason, my wife likes this picture. I don't know why.
You can't tell why.
I said,
No
"Come
idea.
on, the man's mutated. He's not."
He would actually.
It can't
make
even
a
like
good
scratch
Doc
his own
Savage.
back.
Yeah, he would be a good Doc Savage. You're right about that, John.
Yeah. And then a little bit of the leading the team. I don't know who that actress is, but she seems pretty capable in the trailer.
Yeah, I think they're going to have any of the same people from the
Good
last
stuff. No, very happy with that. The chat, I hope you're all looking straight Thad Castle.
Now, you guys that have read the books, correct me if I'm wrong, but what I got out of the first series is he's kind of like Bruce Banner in the old 70s Hulk movie. He just goes from town to town.
Yeah.
Does.
Yeah,
And the
each
bus
book is
kind
a
of goes on
different
the bus.
location.
He goes on the
It's
bus,
similar
which is why
levels of
you see a
destruction.
bus. Yeah, good stuff. So Reacher, I think we're giving it the seal of approval.
I'm ready. I am ready. Big fan.
So it's before we move on to our next movie, I think it's time for a commercial break. And I play these hockey commercials in Bourbon and Boarding, and of course we have a very small audience on that show. So it's time to play some of them on here. There's a lot of very funny hockey commercials. So let's start with this one, I think. So a little commercial break.
We recently hired a world-renowned chef in the cafeteria, but the only person who seems to understand him is Henrik Lundqvist.
Henrik, what do you say? He said today's specials are pickled herring and blood cork.
You know, we're a global company. It's about time our menu reflected that.
Pickled herring.
Hamburger.
That was a good one.
Those ESPN commercials are great. That's about the best thing about that
yeah,
channel.
that
I
sense
can't
of humor.
stand watching sports on there anymore, but those are some funny damn commercials.
They are. I've got a few more of those for later. We'll play a couple more later when we have another commercial break. So now we're going to move on to something that I'm so glad John is here for. We're going to talk about Godzilla -1. Let's get this trailer up.
Now, we played this trailer on my channel, and I'm warning you right now, I got dinged for it.
Did you?
So, yes.
Well,
And it was, now listen, and it was on an IMDb page playing in the background on an IMDb page. I wasn't featuring it, and I got dinged for it.
I don't mind.
There was
if
no
they
sound, and they got me for it.
I don't mind if they ding me after the stream. So I'm hoping we'll get away with it on the stream.
Yeah, they didn't shut me down live.
Yeah, they can ding me later. I don't care.
Yep.
We're having fun.
Yep.
So Godzilla -1, and we can talk over it. That might help. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
So That's LA.
What is it with him and boats, man? He doesn't like boats.
Yeah,
he doesn't like a lot of things.
That's the shipping in LA harbor these days,
right?
Remember, in the first movie, that started with him attacking a boat.
Right.
Yeah. Now this is post Second World War.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately post, I think.
Yep.
Because the first one was nuclear. Well, I say the first one. I get confused with the chronology. Isn't this the 33rd Toho Godzilla?
I'd have to actually count them up to get the number right.
Now, John, is this going to be in English or Japanese?
It's probably Japanese subtitled.
Hope so. I hate dubbed. I hate dubbed. I prefer.
I do too.
Now, this is another example, by the way, that in Asian movies never get on a train ever.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Wow.
Never
Don't get on a train.
Train to Busan, Snowpiercer. Never get on a train.
Never do it. Not a good idea.
This looks so good, though.
It does, man.
Look at that. I mean, that's effects. That's proper effects. Ooh.
Let me tell you something. When we were young, we thought this guy was just badass, and it was a dude in a rubber suit, okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
These special effects are just, wow. To see what we dug back then like this is crazy. Because this is what we imagined it would look like. You know what I mean?
Yep.
With all that CGI, you've deprived some great guy on set the privilege and sheer joy of just stomping through a model.
Getting in a rubber suit. Yeah, that's right.
Well, we lost the original actor a few years ago, so it's not quite the same without him.
Yeah.
I like what Sentient Dildo says. Maybe he really loves playing battleships again. With real battleships, or throwing them. That just looks wonderful.
It looks badass.
Anything with cities being stomped by monsters is a good thing.
Awesome.
It's like, what is it, Pacific Rim, where they pick up the container ship and use it like a baseball?
Oh yeah,
bat?
the first Pacific Rim, he's using it like a baseball bat. It was ridiculous, man. That was pretty cool.
So December 1st, North American release. John, you're the expert in the room, I think. With the others may know a lot too. What's your feelings about this, having seen that trailer a few times?
All right, I've already got tickets. I'm driving 50 miles away to see it because it's not at my local theater, the one in the next town over. So I got to go all the way up to Lee Summit. But Allie and I are going to go see it opening 6:30 opening night. So
IMAX?
No, it wasn't an IMAX at the theater. So no,
probably.
They don't like it when you do that in the theater.
I'm not talking about that. So
unless you're Lauren Boebert, you can't get away with that.
Yeah.
Well,
so I'm definitely going to go see it in the cinema. Again, it depends on which cinema and where. They might not be on. I don't know if it's going to be a general wide release or whether it's going to be very limited.
You know what? It's probably going to in my town. It'll probably show up at the Robinson Film Center. I'm lucky enough to have an independent film house here. It's a nonprofit, and they show old movies, they show independent films, and they show stuff like this. So I'm going to keep my eyes open on that one and see if they're going to show it. If they do, I'll probably take my best friend to it because this is something that Rhonda will not be interested in. I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, story-wise, John, do you know where it lies? And I mean, there's so many. 33, I think I read. Obviously, there's a reboot at a certain point, or multiple reboots.
And for us idiots, what does the -1 mean?
Where does this fit, and what does that mean?
This takes place. It's a prequel to Shin Godzilla, so we're playing in that continuity. So that's where this lies, as a prequel to Shin Godzilla.
Right.
Generally, usually in each continuity for the different movies, for the different series, because you got the Showa era that are all kind of together. You've got the Heisei era, which are all together. Then you got the Millennium era, where the movies were pretty much independent. And then we've got the current era, which is, Shin Godzilla and that stuff. And then we've got the legendary stuff, which is completely separate, but it's approved by Toho, so it's still considered a Godzilla cannon.
Okay. And the -1?
That I have no idea. And I'm sure they'll explain it in the movie, but I think it might have to do where it's placed in the timeline.
Okay, and look at this beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, it's
image.
gorgeous.
Isn't that gorgeous? And another wider shot of that. I'd say.
Oh, that is just awesome.
Isn't that just? I mean, I'd put that up on the wall in a huge frame.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like still art that somebody's done of Godzilla to put on their wall somewhere. Like,
yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. I've got the original Godzilla poster for the original movie on my wall, and that looks better than that.
And that's saying something from if you're saying that, yeah. And it just, I don't know if it's just me. I love seeing cities destroyed. I just love it.
I do too.
Independence Day movies like that, yeah, destroy
Independence Day, Armageddon, all that shit. Man.
I'm a big disaster fan, so
yep.
Well, me too. Yeah, so this is right up my alley.
Yeah, I think in the trailer, my favorite moment is when the guy's on the 50 cal shooting him, and Godzilla just looks at him like, "Are you for real?"
That's right. Yeah.
Right, dude.
So cast-wise, there's a bunch of people, or at least 2 people that were in the Rurouni Kenshin movies, which I also I saw all 5 of those.
Which until One Piece was the best live-action adaptation they had done.
Yeah, I love those movies, even if I can't pronounce Rurouni properly.
Yeah.
So you've got Ryanosuke Kamiki, who was in 3 of them, and you've got Munatika Aoki, who was in all 5 of those movies. I think that's the guy I just mentioned there. And then, so I don't know all. I mean, I watch a lot of Japanese movies. I don't necessarily always pay attention to the actors, but they're in it. And then Yuki Yamada is in the Tokyo Revengers movies, which are pretty good too. So some of the cast I know. I don't know a lot of them. So yeah, looking good, I would say.
It looks tough as nails, man. It really does.
It does. I think hopefully in the chat everyone's up for that movie too.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so D-Bud's got a speculation, and maybe he's not speculating. It says Japan was at 0 after the war, and Godzilla drops them below 0, i.e. -1.
So this
That
might
would make
take place
sense.
in 1944, 45?
No, he's talking about
46.
their tech level.
Oh, okay.
He's talking about their industrial base. We
Wow.
basically knocked them down to nothing. They had to rebuild. So
correct.
This would basically knock them even further back than 0.
Crimlon's saying John and I should hold a fan up in Lee Summit.
Oh, are you up in Lee Summit area?
Yeah. Too bad you live in the mythical land of Canada. I forgot where you're from. Canada, I forgot where you're from. I'd love to. Hey, get this back surgery in December. I'll be able to go places next year. So, our great friend and my Dick's Division buddy, Toxic Man Flu, has, good to see you, mate, has donated $5 real. If you're a big disaster movie fan, you should love The Marvels. Put up or shut up, buddy.
Not that I don't like that kind of disaster. No.
We're not talking about that stuff today, man. We're talking about stuff we like.
Although that is of equal destruction levels, that's true.
It's true. It's destroying Disney as we speak. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Something like
Financially,
300 million loss. Is the
It's
last
gonna
I
be
heard.
bad.
So
10 million in its second weekend. That's
That-
crazy. That's
After
super
already
bad.
doing half of what they thought it would opening weekend. Oof.
So I got to pick a clip for Toxic to play. This is what I usually, when he's producing this Dick's Division, this is the usual reaction.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it. Get on.
Thank you, Toxic. It's time for a commercial then. So yeah, any final words about Godzilla -1? Because
Looking forward to it. Looks great.
yeah,
Yep.
Nice.
Movie of the year.
Be going to see it.
Yeah, I knew John was going to say that. Movie of the year, damn it.
Could be. It could be movie of the year.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely.
This is one he would have camped out for back in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now he's just camp. Then he would have camped out. Time for another hockey commercial, I think. It's time for a commercial. So let's see which one of these wonderful clips we're going to have today. The hockey commercials. I like this. Well, we all know hockey. Coaches in any sport are full of cliches and bullshit. This is the hockey equivalent.
All right, listen up. Today I want to talk about team play. There is no I in team. There is a T, and an E, and an A, and even an M. But there is no I in team. There's no I in hockey, period. There is an I in period, and there are periods in hockey, and there are teams in periods. But there is no I in team, period. The I is in the beholder. Okay. Let's go out and play some hockey.
There's
no I in team, but there's a me.
There's a me. There's a whole series of those, and it's just cliche ridden.
That's like the borderline between an SNL sketch and a Macho Man or Ultimate Warrior promo from the WWF.
That's right.
It's like, where the fuck is he going with this?
Yeah, a great man, a great teacher, a great human. Nice hat, as Chrono says. Yeah. We have another super chat from the wonderful Primarch Vulcan. Thanks for being here, buddy. $4.99. I personally think that the -1 is humanity being set back to the Stone Age on the nuclear Armageddon clock.
Okay.
I like that theory.
Also a mandatory fellow 40K nerd. Vulcan lives.
Yes. But I like that idea because Godzilla and the nuclear blasts in Japan were all intimately tied up. So
yeah.
Good thinking.
Another good theory.
That one obviously deserves an extra special clip, and I wish I had been. Oh, here we go.
Yes.
That also gives me an excuse to say next week's show will be another Canon Film Club.
There it is.
Course. So,
give you a reason to plug something.
Absolutely. We all like to plug something.
Yes, we do. We're males.
We
yes.
do. Well, thank you. Everyone's great. We have 31 concurrent viewers in the chat. Please hit that like button, everybody, and share and stream out and all that nonsense that everybody always says on YouTube and I forget. But thanks for being here, everybody. Hope you're enjoying it, and keep putting your suggestions of things that you're looking forward to in the chat. These are just a tiny selection of what we've picked. We're going to move on to another couple of movies. Next one is a remake of a TV show, The Fall Guy.
Ooh, I didn't know about
this.
Yeah. Yep. So let's check out the trailer for The Fall Guy, which I have hopes for. I wouldn't say I had.
It's a remake of the Lee Majors Stuntman show?
It is indeed.
Oh, wow.
So, if you've not seen this trailer, this could be kind of fun then.
Oh, it'll definitely be fun. I love stunts.
Who the hell are you going to get these days to follow up Lee Major?
Well, you may or may not like this. It may not be good enough for you.
Ah!
He may not be good enough.
Dude, if you've seen Drive, this guy's perfect for this. Come on, man.
Yeah, I've seen Drive, yeah. It's everyone's second favorite Canadian.
Third, Ryan Reynolds exists.
Third. So Ryan Reynolds and who?
What's her name? Emily Blunt?
That's Emily Blunt, yeah.
The last person on earth I want to see.
He's your second favorite Canadian called Ryan.
I'm open to that, and I'm safe for
Pretty much, yeah.
He's my favorite. He's my favorite Canadian named Ryan. I love this guy. I think he's great.
not like I didn't want to apologize.
You don't have to explain anything. It was just a flame.
I like Emily Blunt too.
So how have you been?
A lot.
God, I hate that thumbs up stunt guy stuff. I'm the director.
We're gonna set this man on fire.
You're a stunt guy. We need to keep it super professional.
I love that.
You said you meant.
I'll pause that because we're getting the old blocking.
Are you getting the warning?
But I love that this Luke, stoic Luke, as he's set fire to him. It's quite neat.
Man,
name was
we'll have a few more seconds. I do like the actual setup of the movies filming as well. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's holstered. It's,
Yeah, I want to see that movie.
You never saw it.
Right?
Right.
Tom Ryder.
Oh, look who it is!
Ian Taylor Johnson is the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a movie.
It's a movie,
About a
not
movie.
TV show. Yeah.
That's your job. No
It's a
offense.
movie.
A movie about
within
a movie.
Within a movie.
Find Ryder.
It could be the music that was getting us
You
into
get the
trouble
love of your
there.
life back.
I'm not the hero. I'm just the double.
Not today, you're not.
Wow.
So I think the premise is the star goes missing, and he's got to fill in for him because he's
No
stunt
way.
double. I'll just pause it right there because we're getting the old.
Well, look, I don't know if you guys watch much of his stuff, but I dig him. I've watched a lot of it. Some of it's made for girls. You know, there's about 3 off the top of my head. You know, The Notebook, friggin', and I've watched it because I'm married. You know, much like you, Brian. I'm sure you've seen all this stuff.
Yeah.
La La Land and well, you haven't seen Barbie yet. But,
He was good in the Russell Crowe thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
was it
yeah.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? That movie was
The Nice
fantastic.
Guys. That's the name of it. The Nice
Nice
Guys.
Guys, yeah.
Fantastic. That's what I'm saying. This guy can play anything. He's funny, but he can also. What shocked me, if you've never seen Drive, he can be a badass too.
Oh, yeah,
God.
Gangster Squad. He was in that with Sean Penn and Emma Stone. That was pretty decent.
Oh, we're blocked.
Yep.
We're down.
Yep,
They got
you got
us.
toasted.
They got us.
You got toasted.
That's
But
so.
that's
Ugh.
That is
Yeah, I-
actual fair use, like the legal
We're literally
definition.
talking about it as it's playing,
Yep.
but they don't know that. It's all machine learning.
Yeah, it's all.
Well,
Yeah,
they
it's
don't give
all-
a shit about it because it's not them getting sued.
I do a lot of AI art for my thumbnails and stuff, and half the time my shit gets blocked when it looks just like other stuff, you know. And I send it to them. I'm like, "Yo, unblock this one." You know,
You think the
Right
learning
away,
part
and they
of
tell
machine
you-
learning would be important?
right? They tell you right away. Yeah, it's done by AI. It's we apologize. Blah blah blah. blah.
Well, but it's machine learning done by YouTube, so
Yeah.
it's like the machine learns up to the level of your average YouTube employee, which is like slightly above special needs.
I had no idea. I had seen that he was going to be in a movie called Fall Guy. I had no idea it had anything to do with the old Lee Majors show.
Yeah,
That movie looks good though.
Yeah, it
Cinematography
does.
looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know about it until it just literally popped up in YouTube. I went, what the hell's this? The Fall Guy?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, never heard of this. You know.
Well, that's how I saw the trailer for Shogun. I had seen nothing about it, heard nothing about it, and then it popped up in my YouTube feed. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, what now?
Yeah, occasionally the where I see some of these things first is, you know, when I don't know about you guys, but I don't use an ad blocker. I'm not paying for YouTube. I'm not doing any of that shit. And so I get ads. And the first time I saw Shogun was an ad on YouTube. That's
I
what
use
it was.
YouTube Premium because I am not sitting through like 40
Oh,
minutes
yeah.
worth of ads to get through a video I want to watch
Mhm.
and or
Right, we're back.
We're back.
Yep.
Well, thanks for hanging on, everybody. Sorry about that. Despite the fact we had an overlay and we were talking over the top of that video, it's still deemed copyright block worthy. Fair use.
But it looks badass because it's
Yeah.
about stuntmen.
So yeah, so a remake of the 1970s Lee Majors show, which I remember watching a lot at the time. Action comedy. Now it's an action comedy, so we haven't had that many good action comedies recently.
Not lately. No.
No, the comedy's been pretty lame.
About the last action comedy that I was really hilarious was actually animated, Archer.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Now,
I think the last one I watched I like was Central Intelligence with The Rock and what's his name there?
Kevin
the
Hart.
Short, Kevin Hart. Yeah, love that movie.
So it's an interesting. I actually watched that movie, The Lost City, and it was not bad. The Sandra Bullock, I think it was on Netflix, action comedy.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
It was okay, and that's an interesting comparison.
Is that the one that Brad Pitt's got a cameo in? It's like
Yeah.
Romancing the Stone kind of thing.
That's the one. Yeah.
Speaking of which, that's an underrated movie that we need to do sometime.
Dude,
the Stone.
Romancing
look,
the
I can't
Stone,
watch
Jewel
that
of the
movie.
Nile.
You know this is going to sound funny as hell, but I love that movie. I'm a huge Michael Douglas fan. I watch anything that guy's in. Okay, but I can't watch that movie. You know why? It's the only movie my wife's ex-husband took her to ever in the 16 years they were married. So I can't watch it ever. If I watch it, I gotta watch it with the clients at work.
They didn't go to the War of the Roses.
No, I think it was about them.
So
but they didn't. They survived it, right?
So Gosling and Blunt and Aaron Taylor Johnson. So it's a good cast. It does look pretty funny. It looks like it's not emasculating Ryan Gosling either. He is meant to be a tough stunt guy.
No.
Lee Majors is in it in a cameo, apparently.
Oh man, he's got to be, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I tell you what, man. I'm gonna go see it just because it's about stuntmen. My favorite Burt Reynolds movie. A lot of people love, The Longest Yard, and they love Smokey and the Bandit. My favorite was Hooper, dude. I love that fucking movie, dude. It's fantastic.
Hooper's a great movie. Yeah.
Mhm.
So looking pretty good. Obviously,
Yep.
got to be cautious these days, but I think they're going for a big blockbuster here. They're not going to drive people away, so it looks pretty good.
Well, he was in the one I was talking about a minute ago. The
Nice Guys.
No, the book series that they made the movie on Netflix. The Gray Man, wasn't it him?
That was him.
Yeah, he's in that.
Yeah,
I haven't watched that one yet. Isn't it?
No, they made it too shiny and too glitzy and too fast. And the movie was more like not that.
Yeah.
I remember the Stuntman as well, which was Peter O'Toole. It was a little bit more interpersonal drama in that one too. Well, it's Peter O'Toole's going off the rails in it, I think. Is the whole story in that one.
Well, the reason why I always bring up Hooper is because it was directed by an ex-stuntman. Hal Needham was a stuntman before he was a director. He did Smoking the Bandit with him. He did Stroker Ace, the race car movie with him. He did Cannonball Run. All those great movies he made in the late 70s, early 80s. That's him and Hal Needham together.
So Crimlin's made a point that the Lost City was loosely tied to Bullet Train, which I didn't know.
Really?
That kind of makes a little bit of sense given Brad Pitt's in both, and he does play a slightly similar character, not very similar. But there's another Brad Pitt connection in that the director of this is David Leitch, who was stunt double for Brad Pitt for many years, as well as some JCVD stunt doubling he did. So he's the guy that directed Hobbs and Shaw, Bullet Train, Deadpool 2. So he's got a reasonable track record. Not all of those were huge hits. Atomic Blonde, but he did work with Brad Pitt a lot. So, and there's a writer. The writer is Scottish. Drew Pearce, who wrote Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation.
Oh man! Well, there you go.
And
That's the movie that brought me back to Mission Impossible, because after the third one, I was like, "What?"
So there's the original, poster, but there was good reasons. There was a couple of good reasons to watch that show.
A few, couple there. Pictured.
That Jeep was always what I liked the most at the time.
Yeah,
I was like really young, so the girl didn't really interest me much. The Jeep was the cool shit.
Yeah. What was the name?
Who was the other male lead on that show? I can't remember who it was.
Well, this is Heather Thomas. That's her name. Heather. I knew it was Heather Thomas. Douglas Barr. I don't remember. It was a Glenn Larson show, and I really don't remember anything other than Lee Majors.
I think I'll need to go back and revisit this show.
Yeah, Glenn Larson had a lot of hits in the 80s.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it started in 78 with Battlestar.
Yep.
Yeah, so he was on a roll then, and it was a good show. This looks good, and I do want to see the. As John said, I want to see the movie they're making.
Yes,
'Cause it looks
absolutely,
kick-ass.
absolutely, man. You always want. It's kind of like
the movie.
You showed a clip earlier of Arnold saying not to be, and that's from Last Action Hero. I wanted to see all those movies he was in that thing. I really did. I thought it was cool.
But that would be an awesome, like, kind of fourth wall break. Is then release the movie that they were making as the sequel.
Right.
I've got a guest coming on my keto channel in a couple of months. I'm booked out far, but he's been doing like this weight loss journey. And Arnold Schwarzenegger's picked up on it, right? And he's been retweeting him and making videos. And I'm like, oh, like my 5th grade self is like, no, it's so amazing. So like the fact that like Arnold Schwarzenegger's involved, I'm like,
Indeed.
Yeah, I'm a nerd. I can't help it.
Oh, I know.
We're all nerds, man.
Yeah,
So-
and plus, when we were kids, Arnold was like the guy in the late 80s,
Oh,
early
right.
90s. He was in everything.
He is the quintessential American story. The guy that came here, didn't speak a bit of English, became an American citizen.
Still doesn't
made
speak
a
a bit of
name.
English.
Still can't speak a lick of English. But I mean, how many times did he win Mr. Olympia? I mean, it was like 6 times.
Yeah,
I mean,
and he took a break and went back and won it again. Yeah.
And then he became the most powerful guy in Hollywood. I mean, there was a time when there was nothing he couldn't get done in Hollywood, man.
I'm a big fan of Last Action Hero. I know it gets a lot of shit.
Oh,
but
I love it. I love it. The soundtrack is worth it. I bought the soundtrack to that movie, and I had already quit collecting soundtracks years before, but I had to have that one. Yeah, it was a great flick. I loved it.
So, just to sum up, I'm cautiously optimistic about the Fall Guy until we see a little more.
Right.
On the surface of the trailer, though, it looks great.
Yeah, it does.
Something to look forward to, I think. So, hope everybody in the chat enjoyed that little sequence of talking about that. Sorry we got blocked. I think it's probably time for another commercial break, though.
A couple of Swedish twins. Swedish twins? I thought that was just a myth. Like Bigfoot. This is gonna be awesome. They're here.
Oh,
There they
no.
are, Swedish twins.
The Sedines.
Hey, what's up?
Putting his money away. Oh, don't do it, man. We're about to have a slap shot moment. Look out.
Got a couple of lunas.
They got a couple of loonies. Canadian cash because they played for the Vancouver, of course, the Sedines. That's one of my favorites. It's not the twins that we're expecting.
Oh my god, that's messed up, man. That's jacked.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up. So, yeah, commercial break. I've got through a few already. Let's now. Here's another one that John, I think you recommended to me. The Shift.
Yeah.
It's a movie called The Shift by Angel Studios.
Yeah, the same people that did Sound of Freedom.
Yeah.
So let's.
Yeah, we watched this trailer. We've watched it a couple of times. That's been out for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had not heard of it. Thank you for mentioning it to me, and I just got to call it up here. So, The Shift. Here we go.
Because that's got one of my favorite actors on it.
Neil McDonough. Yep.
Kevin, Molly, hi. I didn't come over here honestly expecting a date, but I feel like that's where this is going. So the idea is we have some fun and maybe we kiss.
Hopefully.
5th date, we are really a part of each other's lives. It's a real thing now. There's the bad thing that happens.
Wait, I'm not home. What bad thing?
You're okay.
Nice to finally meet you, Kevin. I'm the benefactor. Where's
was the accident? What happened?
There was no accident here.
Where did everybody go?
They didn't go anywhere. You did. There are countless other realities. Imagine everything you have ever wanted. 1,000 versions of you in 1,000 different worlds, all working for me.
Where's my wife?
I shifted her. I can't do this all by myself.
I think the truth is that you're a liar. Your goal is misery.
I prefer the term chaos.
He is so great at playing just evil dudes.
He plays a bad
Neil
so
McDonough.
well.
Mhm.
Like Justified.
Actor.
Great actor, Neil McDonough.
You're still trying to find that wife of yours. You're clinging scraps of.
Yeah,
rumors.
Sean Austin's in it too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Samwise has not aged well.
Yeah, he's had a few sandwiches since then, huh? Yeah.
Nicely. I will find a way.
So another multiverse thing.
Yeah.
Which
dystopian.
could go really good or it could go really bad. It depends on how they do it.
Yeah, I think they're trying to use it more on a personal level here, which is interesting, rather than a universe-destroying level.
Right.
What if the bad thing tears us apart? Does that sound like something either one of us wants to endure?
Yeah, that one looks different.
Yeah, different indeed. John, what's your feelings about that one?
Well, like I said, it unfortunately comes out the same day that Godzilla -1 comes out, so it comes out December 1st. So
Double feature, man.
Double
feature.
Science fiction double feature.
I've got plans after Godzilla -1. So, but yeah, it looks good. It's got an interesting premise. It's definitely a multiverse movie, but I think they're going to use it to good effect. I think it's more, they're using the multiverse as more as a backdrop than an actual reason for the movie.
Yeah.
Right. That's kind of like Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's more about that family. It's not about a universe ending event or anything like that. Yeah. Very cool.
And at the end of the day, it's just a movie about a guy wanting to get back to his wife.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't particularly know much about the rest of the cast. I mean, the main guy there, Christopher Bellowa, was in Jurassic World, I think. I don't recall
Not
him.
exactly a ringing endorsement.
No, exactly. So
No.
the rest, apart from Sean Astin, the rest are fairly low key. So it's a smaller budget.
Yeah.
Obviously, Angel Studios, but it looks intriguing, and they picked a great antagonist, sorry. In
Oh, yeah.
Neil McDonough.
Dude.
Neil
Yeah.
He just has that
I mean,
grin
looks
that
at the
just makes you think of Satan.
Yeah.
Which is
I'm a
interesting,
big-
because he's actually a committed Christian in real life.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why he's in this. It's a religious movie studio, and yeah, I mean,
It doesn't necessarily mean the movie's religious.
doesn't mean that at all. But
No.
it's but
But like he says, he's the agent of chaos.
yeah, no doubt. I thought I watched him on Arrow, and I dug him. I thought he was fantastic. And what I really dug him in was Captain America, the first one, because he was Dum Dugan.
Yeah. I loved him in
And of course, all the way
Justified.
back in Band of Brothers as well.
Band of Brothers. Justified, he was a great villain in Justified.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Yellowstone for a while too. The director and writer is a guy called Brock Heasley. I don't know anything about him. He's done a movie. I think he did this as a short story, and this is now the full-length version. And then he did a thing called The 205th, and I have no idea about that. So he's pretty raw. He's pretty new director. So
Everybody's got to start somewhere.
yeah, oh, absolutely, but intriguing, and it's nice to see movies that can look good and be intriguing on a much smaller budget.
He apparently did a short film of this in 2017.
Yeah, so the idea obviously attracted Angel enough to make it into a full length thing. So intriguing. Looking forward to seeing that. John, I think it's very disappointing that you won't make time for both movies.
I'll go see it that weekend. I'm just not going to see it after Godzilla. I've got plans. So
Indeed, your plans will be to just explode with happiness.
oh yeah, I'll be very happy after watching that movie. I'll probably be giddy for hours after that movie.
Yeah,
indeed. So, in that happy note, we'll have another commercial. Then it's commercial break time again. Let's see. Well, Ovechkin is always fun. Ovi is always fun on videos, on adverts. He's actually got a real knack for it. So.
Hey, Alex, why is Backstrom on your life insurance policy?
We're a duo.
A duo?
Yeah, if something happened to me, who is Becky going past the puck to? His power play points might drop. How he will get his assist? What then? Yeah, what then?
The funniest bit's coming up. This picture's bigger than the wedding picture.
Why is he always here for breakfast?
Cheers, Toxic Man Flu. Thanks for being here, buddy.
The weirdest part of that is it's Mass Mutual. You'd think they would use the Bruins for that.
It's weird, but the fact that his picture of him and Backstrom is bigger than the wedding picture.
Speaking of which, I know you have those Bruins hockey rules commercials sitting around somewhere.
There she is.
Hey, Courtney.
I've been sitting back there for a while. I just wrote in the private. How long did I go sit back there?
Oh,
for?
I'm sorry. Because
I missed it too.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Courtney. Thanks for being here. I just Toxic Man Flu says, gotta go, Sheep Lover. See you tonight if you can make it. Well, that's obviously the Monday Night Meltdown Comics Division. I will be there later, mate. Maybe a little halfway through the show, but I will be there later tonight. Go on Comics Division channel, Dick's Division. Go there and watch that tonight, everybody.
Monday Night Meltdown. What's
Monday
up?
Night Meltdown, yeah.
I'll watch it on replay because I'll be too busy watching
something
else.
Definitely has to get a clip.
Well, so what? But what's wrong with being sexy? I mean, there's no trouble with sexist.
That was for you, Toxic. So, and very appropriate as our lady representation is now on the stream. How are you, lass?
It's not a sausage party anymore.
It's not a sausage
Welcome,
party.
welcome. Fun.
So I'm glad you're here because we want to. There's a couple of things we're going to talk about. Some music, and you suggested a couple of things to talk about. But before we do that, I think it's only appropriate that we play this clip. Courtney.
Anyone who wants dance passes, I'm offering them.
Courtney as Joan Jett.
That is awesome.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Awesome.
So ridiculous.
Absolutely awesome. Thank you for sending me that clip so I could finally get it and put up into my stuff to show on screen. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for showing it.
So
that was a fun time.
You suggested a few interesting things that were happening. One of which is, oh god, I got the. Sorry. See what happens when I press the wrong button. There you go. That's the one. So
feel like a bobblehead. What?
So tell us about this tour that you're excited about.
Well, yeah. So this is just like a smaller version. I'm excited to see Exodus. And then I had sent you something else, but a larger thing that's happening with this. But this is actually happening in the town that I live in, which Colorado Springs, temporarily for now. Probably be back in Philly, by the way, soon. But this is at the same club where I sang that Joan Jett thing. So this is like all these bands: Fit for an Autopsy, Exodus, Darkest Hour, and Undeath. I think is the fourth one.
Now this is Exodus, 90s metal band Exodus.
Oh yeah, like the same. Yep. The
okay,
same one.
It's the Exodus. Yeah.
It is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And so it's in that little area that I was singing that song in, which is pretty cool. So.
Yeah, and it's hard to see all the dates on here, but I don't see any Canadian ones, but it's a pretty comprehensive American tour happening in November. So what's the date you're
New Orleans. See
I think the 29th, which is
oh yeah, it's
going to be after. If Christian Dorn is still in the chat, I will be a guest on his show in the afternoon, Vinyl Revival. Talking about Judas Priest with Pope. Well, Pope Metallicus will be there.
Yes.
And
you can't have a Judas Priest show without Pope. That's for sure.
Yeah, and then I'll be going to this.
No, that's great, and that's the Black Sheep in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, it's a really cool club. I saw Hanabiye there, which is like the Japanese metal band that I kept calling Hanabi.
Well, I think we're going to. So we're going to talk about them in a minute too. But yeah, is the other? So there's this. And
then this,
the Headbangers Boat.
Papa Cotton sent me this, and he was like, "Check out this lineup," and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" First of all, Napalm Death is on there. Right? For me, I'm looking like some of the bottom bands more. So for me, we're really
Death Clock.
Yeah, I mean it's
Napalm Death. All right.
Corrosion
I've hung out with Shane Emery before. He's a cool dude.
Wow, Corrosion of Conformity. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen anything from them in a while.
And of course, Exodus again. Yeah, but
I've always wanted to see At the Gates.
I haven't seen them either, and I always have too. So I thought that there's a chance I may have seen them, but I didn't know who they were at the time.
Yeah, so this is.
I want to say they may have played with Black Dahlia Murder. But,
this is October 28th to November 1st, 2024, Miami to Puerto Plata.
I can't
in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, yeah.
And not coming back though. It's just going to stay there. It doesn't return.
Can you imagine there just being on a boat with all the people in this band and then like a whole bunch of? It just looks awesome. But yeah, Papa Cotton
going to invade the DR.
Oh my gosh! Right, that's
Allie and I are looking for a cruise for next year, or the year after. I don't know that she would appreciate this.
She may not appreciate this one then. I think this
would be a cruise I go on by myself.
This could turn out like the Marie Celeste. Like it gets to the DR and no one's aboard. Nothing.
They are going through the Bermuda Triangle, so kind of tempting fate there a little bit.
Yeah, so that's a good one. Thanks for pointing that out. That's a really neat. It's a neat poster as well. Pirate themed.
Yeah, well, thanks to Papa Cotton. He's the one that told me about it.
But you did mention a couple of other tours that I did want to talk about.
Super excited.
First is the Pretenders, obviously. Chrissy Hine and the Pretenders.
They're coming around again.
Wow.
Yeah,
Get out of town.
Who I've seen a number of times.
I saw them once.
And they are touring in 2024. You've got gigs with the Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters and the Pretenders? Wow, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
So when I saw them with the Rolling Stones.
City Field. So they're supporting the Foo Fighters at City Field. That's what, 60,000 people.
Yeah.
I've been to a gig there, Paul McCartney. A lot of big venues. These are stadium venues. Yeah.
Yep. They are.
Once again, the closest that's coming to me is Denver.
Yeah, that's the one I'll be going to.
Yeah.
So
California.
But I just pulled this out of my car when we were like talking about it, the singles, the Pretender CD that I still have.
Yeah. So they're going to be apparently they'll be doing other. This is just the gigs with the Foo Fighters. There will be other gigs.
I've never seen the Foo Fighters. I'm actually.
I've never got a chance to see them either.
Yeah,
I would love to see them.
So check out their website, everybody, to see where they're playing. Because I'd go and see them again. I'd seen them a few times.
Yeah.
Chrissy Hine's wonderful. So
one of my idols. Like her, she's up there with Joan Jett for me.
Yeah. The other one that you pointed a couple of other things out you were interested. You mentioned Hanabi, of course.
Yeah, I saw them. With another YouTuber, actually. It was cool.
So
Blue
Japanese
Ridge Rock Festival. I knew where that was.
Yeah, so they're touring the US.
And they already played here. So I saw the show, which was amazing. Go see it. If there's something still,
These are September. Yeah, I'm looking down the list. So it finishes in
South Texas.
October, this list, but there may be more. I just maybe that's this website. So check out. You'd have to check the website out. Maybe they finish in October, but there might be more. I hope. Yeah. So that was Hanabi.
Really rare for a Japanese band to tour the U.S. So
yeah.
if you're a
Well,
fan,
Baby Metal
go
did
see-
too with Death Clock.
Yeah.
I have never seen anything like them though, because like first of all, they're these adorable little girls, you know, like they're just like they're so cute, and the singer, she can go from like these high kind of whatever, and then all of a sudden she's like, raw. I mean, it like blew my mind. I was like, it was really heavy. It was awesome.
You know, I'm going to have to check them out because I'm not that familiar with them.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I'm going to jump out of here, guys. My kids cooked dinner, so.
All right, my friend. So, Dustin, what you got going on, buddy?
Just live streams right now, Tuesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
All right, my friend. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having
Appreciate
me.
it.
I'll see you guys soon.
Have a great night.
See you, man.
Take care, buddy.
And one more that you mentioned was Agent Orange. Who, again, I'm not hugely familiar with.
I saw them already as well. They were supposed to play at the HQ in Denver, and that place got flooded. So they played at the Globe, I think it was called. I have a what? Here, let me grab it.
The original OC Punk Surf Power Trio.
Yep.
So I'm looking for gigs on here, but they obviously are gigging
the
hard.
Tour. So it should have all the tour dates like on the bottom if you can.
Yeah, I don't have Facebook, unfortunately, which is the.
No, I'm saying if you make I have the whole thing here with all the tour dates. If you can
All right, yeah.
I don't know if you can see them, but anyway, that was.
Yeah, hang on. Let me embiggen you. There you go.
I don't know if you.
Ooh.
So I framed it because I thought it was cool. But if you go,
they're back to front, of course.
Let's see if sorry, my hand.
So what's the range of dates though? Right through to the end of the year.
I can't tell right now because I'm putting it right on you. Can you see?
No, well, it's back to front.
It's backwards, darling.
Oh,
mirrored,
how do
yeah.
I do that? Okay, hold on. Let me just tell you this. It looks that. Oh, actually, the tour's over. I apologize. They are not touring, at least on this fall tour anymore. There may be another one, but not on this poster. So, but the poster's cool.
Way to tease us, young lady.
Sorry.
Way to go.
I think I've lost somebody.
You big tease.
Well,
Yeah, Pope
Dustin
dropped out.
Pope drops out. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, we're probably going to. But thanks, Courtney, for sharing those. I'm going to look into those bands because I've heard of Agent Orange, but I've never really.
You will like them.
Yeah.
They're like they've got like their one major hit, which is like a punk classic. Classic is
There he is.
very punk rock, but really they're surf punk.
Yeah.
With a lot of like surf guitar influence. They're very cool. And
So
every time I see
surf
them, they're
with
better
punk,
and better.
so
I do like
up-tuned
surf
black
punk.
metal?
I do like surf punk stuff. I do like anything like that. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. So I will check that out. Thank you, Courtney, for sharing that with us. Obviously, the other one that's coming up, Pope and I have talked about a few times, is Judas Priest.
Yes.
Now,
wow.
Let me just share
They're
my screen.
touring. Wow.
Yep.
Well, they are
with Sabaton.
That's
Hang
gonna
on.
be
Whoa,
fucking amazing.
really?
I've been waiting to see this lineup for 3 years. I had tickets to the 2020 tour.
Wow.
When is this? How did I not know about this?
I'm going May 5th.
I will
Priest
be there
and our
May
song
19th
Trial
at
by
DC.
Fire is out now from our new album, Invincible Shield. We hope you dig it. Oh, yeah.
I can't believe that guy grew a beard.
Yeah,
I am shocked.
Two tracks
And if
already.
you haven't
out.
listened to the new single, Trial by Fire, listen to it. It's amazing.
It's really
Good.
good. It's actually, I like it more than the first one that's out.
I feel like I should be wearing my leather studded vest just in honor of this moment.
But now there's gigs here from April to May in the US in this list. Then there's some European and festival stuff. I think there's not a lot on the West Coast here, so I think there's going to be more at the back end of the year for
Yeah,
Central
I think
and
they're
West
gonna add an
Coast.
entire section front of this
Nothing
where they go
lost
through like
there?
the west half of Canada.
Yeah, I'm holding off till those because the shorter the distance I have to travel, the better. But Sabaton are the special guests, so you're going to get a kick-ass tour.
That
Out of the, I've seen
I've-
Sabaton live 4 times and I've seen Priest live twice. They never disappoint.
Sabaton's a band that's been on my list that I want to see live that I
know,
haven't
me
been able
too.
to yet.
I got introduced to him by my stepson. He swears up and down that Warhammer 40K should be they should do the soundtrack for it.
There's already a metal band that does 40K. It's called Bolt Thrower.
Yeah.
So El Hombre says, will Rob Halford ever find himself a good woman and settle down? Well, you know, stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened.
I got a girlfriend.
A bunch of places. If I'm going to be back in Philly, like that'll be close to me. Newark, New Jersey, Reading, Pennsylvania.
Just must point out that our great friend Christian Delorme donated another $2 super chat. Any thoughts on the ongoing Kiss tour?
I saw them in '83. That's all I need.
I saw them in probably 2010.
I don't know if I want to see them now.
I would say my thoughts are that ongoing Kiss tour should have been cut short about 30 years ago, but that's just me.
I have a 36-year streak of missing Kiss when they come on tour, and I'm looking to extend that to 37.
I saw them in '83.
I kind of thought that it was going to be. So I saw them play. I went to go see Motley Crue, and Motley Crue ended up opening up for Kiss, and I'd never seen Kiss, and I was like, "There's no way they're still going to be good." They're like 70 or something, which is terrible for you to say, but they were awesome. I couldn't believe the show they put on.
I saw them in 1980. And they were awesome, but I've not really been a fan of their music, but I did enjoy that gig.
I saw them on the last mass tour, is what they called it, the last mass tour.
That was my first concert was Kiss.
Yep.
My mom made my brother take him because I was a big Kiss fan. I had like the Kiss remote control van. I used to paint my face up like Gene Simmons.
You're part of the army. Yeah.
Yep.
So just to thank Christian for that, I'm going to play him another clip.
What the fuck did I do?
It's a short one. And bonus points for anyone who can identify that show.
I missed it. What you showed.
Play it again.
What the fuck did I do?
Okay.
The Wire.
Correct. Well played. That was The Wire.
I need to rewatch that.
I want to get I want to put a longer one together with all the times he says that, because it's about 80 times. What the fuck did I do? Thank you, Christian.
Your favorite song is of Beth? Come on. He's talking about Kiss.
Jimmy McNulty, exactly. Well played, Sentient Dildo. The great Jimmy McNulty.
But no, for the Priest tour, I cannot wait to go see them in DC. I've actually never been to a show in DC before since I'm fairly new here. So,
well, I'm thinking of targeting Milwaukee because Nick and I are thinking of going to Milwaukee to see them if that's on the second half of the gig.
I may plan on that one as well.
So FKHC 2005 bands I've seen in order of seeing them: U2, Paul McCartney, Garbage, and Blondie, and Sarah McLachlan. She rocks. Sarah McLachlan rocked out. No. But yeah, nice lineup.
I literally cannot hear her name without seeing the MSPCA or the SPCA commercials.
Yeah,
it just makes me sad inside.
So we are getting close to the end of the show because we did start late, unfortunately. So we're going to fit one more movie in, I think, and I'll leave all the rest that I had a huge list of until next time. I mean, I had a bunch of Korean stuff we're never going to get to. So one more, and I wanted to talk about Napoleon.
Looking forward to that one myself.
Yeah, so let's take a little look at this trailer for Napoleon, if I can find it here. There we go. And see what we think.
No doubt you've seen the chaos in the streets. We must make an example, or France will fall.
So the rise of Napoleon.
What would you do if this assignment of defense was transferred to you?
All the way to him becoming emperor.
Yeah. Guy almost took over the world.
Indeed. And then and this features a lot of battles, I believe. Like 7 or 8 different battle scenes, so it looks really impressive.
Ridley Scott's historical stuff has always impressed. So let's.
I didn't know they had emo punks in his day, but
Let the French victory at Toulon.
This looks
Gladiator,
spectacular.
It does.
Yeah. That better
Put
be
the money into
Of
this,
course, the
no
monarch
doubt.
has changed. Napoleon.
And
That's
it looks like,
Josephine, right?
obviously my overlay has made it dimmer, but watch the real trailer. and it
Yeah,
looks
it's
I suggest you take the throne.
And they were accurate on what the Sphinx looked like when Napoleon was there, because it was just the head that was. They didn't uncover it until much later.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it gets crowned emperor. There's Vanessa Kirby as Josephine.
Yeah.
This vermin has
I was
held the world.
I was watching Paulie's show before we came on, and they were talking about how this may not be completely accurate, like the cannonballs hitting the top of the pyramid and that kind of thing. But
Yeah, I mean it's tough to make anything.
it is.
perfect.
It is. I'm looking forward to it myself.
But it looks like a return to form for Ridley Scott. He is good with this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I love Joaquin.
I mean, I'm having flashbacks to Master and Commander watching this.
Right.
Watching the combat scenes here, and that is a
Mhm.
very good thing.
Yeah,
I
you
love
like
this. We've been
you like
discovered. Good.
you like a big cannon, don't you?
Of course, who doesn't?
Here's my one problem with this trailer. Not once do we ever see him with his hand in his jacket. Not once.
Not once.
We never did.
Well, I
And
do.
there's a reason for that.
I have found a second clip though of this, which I think we should see. I think it does elaborate a little more.
Yes!
They are very keen to surrender.
I love this
They
movie.
have been here 8 hours.
Don't stand so close to me, Niggy! Told you that before. You on one side, him on the other. It's like being at the bottom of a bloody well! Just because you think I'm small.
No, Commander, you are not small. You are not small at all.
You're not by any means 5'1" is not small. Yeah, 5'1" and conqueror of Italy. Not bad, huh? Very good.
So I think that explains a little more the historical context that we're dealing with, don't you?
Right.
The great Ian Holm and Time Bandits.
Oh my god.
It's like standing
The
in
funny
one
part
of
is
a bloody well.
They're doing
Right.
one movie about Napoleon's entire life, and they did like a 3-hour movie on just Waterloo.
They did,
Right.
and this time you're getting more battles, more bang for your buck. There's about 7 or 8 battles in it. $200 million budget.
That's
Pretty okay.
surprisingly
Well-
low for something.
less than your average Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By about
The last
50 million.
time last time Joaquin Phoenix was in one of his movies, it's a little
Gladi-
film called Gladiator.
Yeah,
I
they do
love
feel-
Did pretty good.
I love that movie. I love him in that movie. I think.
And if we're lucky,
Is he
Napoleon
playing
will play the
Napoleon?
villain again.
Is that what I missed on
Hold
that?
on.
Yeah.
Sorry, Pope.
Yeah, he's
hang on,
playing
Pope.
Napoleon.
Sorry,
I wanna
Courtney, what
see
were you
that.
saying? I missed what you were saying, Courtney.
Oh, I said. I was just saying he brought up Gladiator, and I said I love Gladiator. That's like that movie was great with Joaquin Phoenix. And then I asked if he was playing Napoleon because
Yeah,
I
and
can't
he's
see
aged
some of
enough
the
to be
video
able to
stuff.
do it. I think. I mean, he's got.
That's
You can tell he's
amazing.
aged into the part. Pope, sorry, what were you saying?
Well, I mean, with CGI, to your point, with CGI, I hope they can de-age him enough because he's way too old to play Napoleon at the beginning of his little reign of terror there. But
Yeah, but
I hope I hope they play him as the villain again, where there is kind of a protagonist in some of the guys he's facing, because Napoleon was not a great guy.
No.
no, he was a dictator, tried to become the dictator of Europe. I like what FKHC 2005 says. The Abel Gance Napoleon movie, 5 hours 30 minutes, and they only got to the invasion of Italy.
Oh dear
This is
God.
2 hours 37 minutes, and you're getting a lot more.
Did they
I'll
film his
probably
entire
fall
life in
asleep
real
and have
time?
to see it again.
Right.
That always happens with long movies.
So they'll do. Yeah, there is a 3-body problem coming out soon. Netflix, and I'm not necessarily going to be a big fan of it, to be honest. But Brahma and I are going to do some streams on that one for sure, because we're big fans of the original source material. So that will be getting talked about. I can't say I'm excited for it though. I like the Chinese TV adaptation, which I think was very faithful. This one's going to play fast and loose, I think. But that's first look is my thinking. So anyway, yeah, 2 hours 37 minutes. It's an Apple Studios thing.
I
It is
know.
getting a November 22nd cinema release, but I think you'll see it on Apple TV Plus eventually.
Oh, I'm going to see it in the theater.
Oh
No
yeah,
doubt about it.
That's a go.
That's not made for your television set.
Yeah.
Sorry, that looks. I'm going to see
Vanessa-
that. Yeah,
and
that'd be like
Vanessa
watching that Godzilla 01 on your TV set. Hell with that.
Yeah,
Go see it
I
on
mean-
big screen.
I mean, despite a few misfires here and there, I am a Ridley Scott fan generally.
Yeah, me
speaking.
too.
Except his later Alien and Blade Runner movies, none of which were necessary.
Yeah, and he needs something to get his teeth into like this, and I think this is the ideal material for him.
Yeah.
He does really good with actual history.
Yeah. And I think Phoenix looks really good
Oh,
in
he
this,
looks
you know.
really old.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he's obviously Ridley's muse.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. And
Well, he's probably
that must be
he's
Wellington.
probably the best actor out there now. I mean, as far as being able to play anything.
Him and Daniel Day-Lewis are pretty much it.
Yeah, but
Well, Daniel Day-Lewis
retired.
hasn't. He's retired though. He's
Yeah,
not
he's
making another movie. He is not doing it.
I do like the look of these desert scenes, though. I think they look really good.
Oh yeah.
And
Well, and he's a Phoenix. I mean, come on, he was River Phoenix's brother. So
that's right.
naturally,
And
I
then
love them both.
Vanessa Kirby's, got a couple of good points.
well
in her
endowed.
role. She's Josephine.
A couple of good points when it's cold outside. Yeah.
Yeah, I had been going to play a Morecambe and Wise sketch with Vanessa Redgrave where they did Napoleon and Josephine, but I think we're out of time. I'll save that for another time. I didn't get through everything, but we do have to draw the show to a close, unfortunately. But there's other stuff coming out: Silent Night, Squid Game 2, the Bike Riders, Tom Hardy. Looks pretty good. The Beekeeper, Jason Statham. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire might be okay. I don't know. I'm not.
For those of you on the gaming side of things, we have Space Marine 2 coming out, and
Space
also
Marine 2.
a standalone MechWarrior 5 Clan Invasion game, which should be awesome.
Good. Yeah, the Iron Claw, which looks like an
yes.
interesting movie. Ferrari, of course, is coming out.
I was chomping at the bit for this month because this is when Dune was supposed to come out. It's coming out in April.
Yeah.
And that's the Napoleon and that one are the ones that I am chomping
Well,
at
I'm
the bit
glad
for.
Napoleon's almost here. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A couple of Korean
It
things
said
I'm in.
no European ever.
Yeah. There's
Right.
some Korean stuff I'm interested in. Believer 2, which is out now on Netflix. Gyeong Song Creature, which looks really good. 12-12 the day, and a thing called The Match with Lee Byung-hun about the game of Go.
Oh.
And so Lee Byung-hun has a disciple that he raises to play the game, and then ends up turning on him. So that it's like a Rocky 5 thing, I guess.
Oh, I did want to mention something. I didn't go see it in the theater, but Blue Beetle is on HBO Max now, and I watched it last night and was pleasantly surprised. That's a
I don't
decent
think it's
movie.
a bad movie.
It's a little bit over the top sometimes in some of the family things, but other than that, I thought it was pretty cool.
I think it just suffered from general Marvel factors. I don't think it's meant to be a bad movie at all. So I know
No.
Polly likes it. Latino Society loved it. So.
Well, the reason why it suffered is because they announced that the movies didn't matter, so nobody went to go see them.
That's why. Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you announce you're rebooting your entire cinematic universe right before you release the last movie in the series,
Marvel,
guess
I mean-
what?
Yeah.
I mean DC, not Marvel.
All I know is his Nana made the whole movie for me, man. I was like,
And also,
I'm down with
pick a
her.
character that no one knows.
Yeah, I did say I would watch it.
List.
Yeah, and I said I'd watch it on streaming. I didn't want to go to the cinema to see it, so I might watch it now. But yeah, this movie called The Match with Lee Byung-hun, who's a great Korean actor, one of my favorites. He's in Squid Game 2 and other things. Just to see a different game, like Go, the game of Go, which I know very little about, and to see, because it's very competitive and a competitive game in Asia. So to see that being the subject of a movie,
From what
and
I
a
understand
rivalry.
of it, it's essentially Asian chess.
Yeah, so that could be a very interesting character study, especially as the young guy turns on his trainer and obviously tries to beat him. So looking forward to that. But then I could make an entire show about the Korean things I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I was fixing to say, man, that's when I'm sidelined because I can't read, man. I can't read fast enough to catch the story. It's just it's my Achilles heel, man.
Subtitles, all right.
Yeah, I can't do it. Yeah.
Anyway,
That's the only thing I've enjoyed that was Asian, that was subtitled, and I actually sat there and watched it was Star Blazers. The Asian movie that was pretty cool. It was an anime that I loved growing up.
Well, interestingly, no matter what we're watching, we've got subtitles on here because of hearing issues with my missus and I. So we always have subtitles on. So it wasn't a huge leap for us to start watching that stuff in that respect.
Yeah,
I think I'll probably be doing another show about just the Korean things that are coming up. John's probably into some of them as well.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for being here. Apologies again for the false start with technical issues, but finally we got over here, and we had over 30 people at one point. So I do appreciate everyone watching. I hope you enjoyed the stuff we were talking about, and the fact that we were also positive about it. It's good stuff.
It's good stuff. That's right. There is good stuff out there.
Music, games, movies, TV. There's a lot of good stuff to come.
And we hit, I think, all of that in one stream. So, we're doing good for us.
Not all of it. He's got a stack of stuff he didn't get to.
I've got another 10, 15 things we didn't get to.
We're going to have to do another one down the road.
We'll save those for the next time. Yeah. So, John, sir, what do you got coming up soon?
Tomorrow I am reviewing on my channel at 4:00. I am reviewing the first 2 episodes of Monarch: Legacy and Monsters.
Oh, I'll watch that then because I'm interested in what you have to say.
And I'll probably get the talk about the start of it's the beginning. They have like first 4 episodes of For All Mankind out too, so I'll probably talk about that at the end.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks for being here, mate. I really appreciate your insight into a lot of this stuff, which I'm not as knowledgeable about. So it was great, mate. Thanks for being here. Joe, my friend, and you, of course, having talked about many of these in your show, I also appreciate your insight into them.
Oh, yeah.
What you got going on apart from tons of
this week being Thanksgiving, me and my brother are not going to do the Brothers Hack the Matrix this week for obvious reasons, but I'm going to have all my other shows, my 2 video game shows on Tuesday and Thursday, and State of the Atmosphere. We're going to talk about what we're thankful for, and it's probably going to be a discussion a lot like this.
It's great, isn't it?
Entertainment we're thankful for, people we're thankful for, that kind of thing. That's
Isn't
what
it
we're
nice to talk about this stuff.
You know what, man?
Excited for,
I mean, look, we can bash stuff that's bad, but we also got to pump up. You got to have balance in your life. You got to talk about what's good too.
Pump up the volume. Pump up.
That's
the
right.
Volume. Yeah. No, I agree with you, mate. And but thanks for being here.
For sure.
Courtney, for pump the volume. Pump up the volume. Dance.
I was singing and then it went away.
So my thanks for being here and for sharing that music stuff with us, because I did want to get a little bit of music into this chat. It's mainly been movies and TV, but there is always good tours and music coming up.
There's so much more stuff too, but that's like a whole other.
Yeah, thanks for sharing those. Have you got anything coming up that you're involved
I have
with?
a couple things that are secret, but my channel is going to kind of be happening again. Minus just my chill streams. I was just opening my microphone that my brother got me, and it's gigantic. This thing
Look at the size of that thing.
I know. It looks really.
It's girthy too.
Yes. This is
and red.
Something else.
And black.
See how it works. So I will say that I may have a funny kind of dating show that may happen. It'll be for fun.
It'll be the dating version of Squid Game.
I don't know Squid Game. I've never seen
Look out.
One person left at the end.
Don't feel bad. I've never seen it either.
I hear people talk about it all the time, but I have no idea.
That's just wrong, Brian. A dating Squid Game.
That would be kind of neat,
I don't know what that means, so I'm like,
gets to
so sadistic. It's genius.
See, you all know I would do something like that if it's like completely messed up, because that's just my sense of humor. But
Yeah, well, that'll be interesting. And let us know. Yes, let us know when that's happening. So we
Yeah,
can
and then
plug it.
I'm always around on other people's streams. That's basically more of what I do because I can't seem to organize with everything else going on. So
Groovy. No,
but
thanks for
everyone
being
have a
here.
happy holiday if you are in America celebrating Thanksgiving.
All right, thanks, Courtney, and you too. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Pope, sir, give it to me.
Well, thanks for having me on. Like you say, it's great to talk about positive things that we actually love rather or are looking forward to rather than looking back at things we love and then talking about the stuff that's upcoming like it's the next coming of the plague. But as for me, I'm actually going to be taking a hiatus from Rock and Roll Religion for a while. I've got some other ideas I want to work on and also some new ideas of how to redo that format a little bit. So, and also just create a schedule because I basically run out of bands that I really wanted to do. So we've been going week to week. And that gives me zero prep time. So
that's the problem, yeah.
That's my problem with other
and when
things.
it starts feeling like work, well, it's no longer a hobby.
That's right.
And
I feel you, man. Yeah.
So I'll stop doing that for a while. I'll still probably be doing random fandoms here and again. I've been threatening to do one for a while. Talking to a couple people about maybe doing a review of Kingdom of Heaven. Speaking of Ridley Scott history,
nice,
good movie,
nice, great movies
ever
man.
made.
I've never seen it, but I've heard only good things. So
you've got to
should
see
join the
that
stream as our
sometime. Yes.
newbie then because it's
That's
amazing.
right.
I just
when are you doing that, buddy?
I don't have a date yet, but I
Okay.
will let you guys know.
I am a subscriber. I will make sure.
Yeah, that would be nice, mate. That's a good
finger on
movie. Good one.
Guys,
And
I
other than
gotta
that,
go
I'll
really
still be
fast.
on,
I'm so sorry.
this show and also Vinyl Revival. I think the 28th we're on, Courtney, for Priest.
Oh yeah, wait, hold on.
Oh, Courtney's gone.
She's gone.
Well, thanks, Pope, buddy, for being here. As for me, next week's show will be another Canon Film Club. We're going the Delta Force. Do not miss that show. It's going to be awesome.
Do not miss that show or Chuck Norris will find you.
Right,
He will find you.
it. I think she's back.
And he'll take you out with his pinky.
Yeah, she's back. So yeah.
Talking, but I had already hit the thing and the exit thing is happening. Répétez, s'il vous plaît.
Oh, I was going to say, I think we're on Vinyl Revival's channel on the 28th.
It's the 29th, I think.
Christian DeLorme's Vinyl Revival on the
Yeah, because it's the same day
29th.
as the metal show.
Great. We'll look forward to that.
He's doing one on Foreigner soon too. He told me so.
Cool. Very
Look
cool.
forward
I'm
to that
sorry.
for sure.
I didn't mean to do that and then pop back in, but I have a whining dog who acts like it needs to go out. So
Okay, well, thanks, Les.
Kind of an
Thanks for being
emergency.
here.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. So
Bye,
next
everybody.
week,
Love you.
Love you too, Les. Next week, Canon Film Club, the Delta Force. A lot of fun. Tom and Austin will be there. I've extended the invite to Razor. We'll see. You'll also find me on Saturday nights with Brahma, Bourbon and Boarding, where we do our hockey show. It's going to be a little bit earlier starting in the future, 9:15 p.m. Mountain as opposed to 10. And I will be on stuff like Dick's Division, Comics Division's channel, Midnight's Edge After Dark, and the other thing here and there. So lots of me, hopefully not too much. Thank you to everybody for being here on the panel. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. Thank you to everyone that's been in the chat and the mods, Sentient Dildo, Davina, D-Bud Martin, some guy called Streamlabs, who people in the chat have been arguing with quite rightly because he's been getting a bit excited. I'll have to tone him.
He won't be here long.
He won't be here. I'll have to tone him down. There's been a lot of great people in the chat, a lot of great super chats. Thanks for all of those. Thanks to everybody in the chat, all the regulars and some new faces. Very much appreciated. I hope you enjoyed this positive stream about new stuff. We'll probably be doing more of these in the future. So until next time, and especially next week's Delta Force show, have a great week, everyone. Have a happy Thanksgiving if you're in the US, and if not, just have one anyway.
That's right.
And stay well and keep on rocking. We'll see you all again soon. Cheers.